And you are live.
Oh, no.
A reasonable facsimile thereof.
That's right. Welcome to Bear Facts on Guns, where host Derek Baer and his guests are locked and loaded to educate, inspire, and answer your questions about firearms. We get it, folks. Not a lot of ammo out there, but don't stop training. Ready? Aim. Derek.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much, Kent. Really appreciate it. Welcome back, Tom. Always a pleasure having you on.
Great being here.
Awesome. How's everybody's week?
Great week. Do you ever try to figure out what they say at the beginning of your intro? Like, hush, they're saying something, I think. I don't know what it is.
I listen to the weirdest music sometimes. My wife literally hates it. Like, no joke. Like, she gets in my car and she's like, can you please, there's no words to the song. And I'm like, listen, it's not about the words. It's about the feeling that I get when I drive. So I listen to a song
when your
morning.
car drives for you.
Yeah, exactly. I need to focus and I need to get in Zen mode while I'm
He's
driving.
doing yoga in that Tesla.
My legs above my head in the back. So it's funny. There's a song called "The Heart of Courage," and it's like 300s music. Like it's like this amped up stuff. I listen to that every morning on my way to work, and what it does is it just gets me in my head. Like you have those songs. We were talking about songs, in the green room here, and you have those songs that just motivate you. That song motivates me, and it puts me in a place where it's just put my game face on, my game hat on, work hat on. Let's do this kind of thing. Yeah. And I walk in the office and I can fire away and go. And she always gets in the car and she's like, "What is this?" I listen to Lindsey Sterling. For Lindsey Sterling fans out there, it's dubstep violin. Yeah, figure that one out. I'm gonna
Lindsey Sterling sounds like a newscaster.
Yeah, strange music if you're not used to it, but I love the symphony of music and violin and stuff like that, and then a little bit of new age and a little bit of house music, which is what I do. And most people don't realize I'm a huge house music fan.
Yeah.
I know you know.
I love that stuff.
Oh, I love house music. It so gets me going. And then we were talking about country, and you like the old school country.
I like the old school, but lately, I've been listening to ABBA. And when you have a 9-year-old in the back, you have to listen to clean lyrics and stuff like that. But I have the only 9-year-old girl in the county who knows the words to Chantilly Lace and Rawhide.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, I like Bob Saget.
Saget.
Yeah, Saget.
Full House.
Seeger?
Yeah, Seeger. Thank you.
Yeah,
I know. I just messed up. My wife is going to die right now.
Yeah.
And hey, Jen, how's it going? And look at Jen knows Lindsey Sterling. Yeah. John Wick soundtracks. I am actually going to look that up now. Great suggestion. I love movie soundtracks. When you're watching a movie, it brings you back to that action scene or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't
Rise of the Mohicans.
Rise of the Mohicans.
Remember that one?
I have it on my radio. Yes, that's a great one.
Irish, they got the fiddle going and everything.
Yes. It's so good.
And then they have, and how about Gladiator?
Gladiator, definitely.
Gladiator. Braveheart.
And boy, he is. That's for sure.
With the drums.
Yeah. I like that. That's cool.
Thank you.
All right. We're not going to talk about music today. We're talking about guns.
Welcome
we went on
to Bear Facts on Guns.
Bear Facts. What I'm doing today. No. So right now, obviously, Tom with On Target. Again, thank you so much for joining us, coming in, and always providing your expertise and your wonderful staff. We had a guest on last week, too. Another great employee. Another great staff member, and just really showcases what On Target focuses on, which is quality people, and quality people give quality training. So it's really the best part about it. So
Chuck's one of the best. Yep.
Yeah. Chuck was awesome.
Very nice guy.
He was. He definitely knows.
He knows his stuff. He's a gunsmith.
He brought in his own hand-built gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
rifle.
beautiful.
Oh my God. I mean, I paid thousands of dollars for that thing.
That's
And
gorgeous.
You could just tell. I told him, I was like, that's a family heirloom. You're just never going to get rid of that at all, you know? So at the end of the day, when it comes down to right now, as everyone who in the gun world knows, there's a super big shortage on just firearms in general, as well as the bullets and ammo that go with it. So really today, I want to get down to the nitty gritty of what you can do without spending money at the range or spending money on bullets or ammo to, you know, curb your habit until these prices finally kind of subside down and be able to make it more affordable and easily and readily available for that too. So, Tom, I'm going to let you talk a little bit about what classes you have that you offer for this kind of area and what people can do.
Okay. Well, I'm all for spending money at the range.
Yeah.
Now, where we're at right now, a lot of people aren't spending money at the range because they don't want to spend money on ammo. We try and be reasonable as far as our margin goes. I think we're more reasonable than what you get online. And the ammo's trickling in. Granted, it goes fast. So as soon as we get it in, a lot of folks come and they shoot it, you know, using our rentals and for classes and that sort of thing.
Yep.
And so I put together a repertoire of different classes we can have that either doesn't require any shooting at all or minimal shooting. And just hear me out on this because I'm all about training.
Yeah.
But firearms training, okay, what does that really accomplish? You train with firearms. Number one, you want to be a better shot for the sporting end of it. Okay, I want to compete. I want to be a good shot. Okay, but let's look at the other end of it for security, for protection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, firearms is only one spoke of that wheel. You have to look at the other spokes that entail all aspects of security and survival for your family, for yourself, for your friends, for total strangers. So if you're really good with a gun, but you can't punch your way out of a paper bag, then you got something to work on. And so what I did, I put together a number of classes with the help of my staff and their input and said, okay, what can we have? What do we have as far as our talents go, our skills?
Mm-hmm.
And we bring a lot of that to the table from a number of our staff, former military, former police officers, and running around all over the world and everything. We had a little meeting. I said, okay, well, here's some of the things we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And what came up, number one, and this is the theme of tonight's show, is okay, you're out, you don't have a lot of ammo, you want to conserve your ammo. Okay, fine. But keep training.
Yep.
Keep your training going. This is a great time. You have to look at every adverse situation and see the merit in it. Okay, this window is shut. Another window opens. And very few ranges around here are going to offer any of these classes. Maybe after watching this, some of the folks out there say, hey, that's a good idea. Why don't we do it over here?
Proprietary information.
Okay.
Cost to,
but as long as we have the classroom, we have the range, we have the ideas, we're going to keep on going on a number of these ideas here. Sure. So keep training even if you don't have the ammo. So let's take a look at number one. For some years now, we've always offered gunshot trauma and first aid. And we have a wonderful lady by the name of Tanya who comes out. She's been doing this for years. She's been in the medical field in emergency situations and EMT and that sort of thing. And we get right down to the nitty gritty. We all know how to put Band-Aids on. And all of our staff are really well trained at that by now, of gauze and tape and mercurochrome. When was the last time you heard mercurochrome, right?
Yeah, I just talked about it last Friday, as a matter of fact, right?
I saw you playing with it in the other room.
Yeah.
You're fiddling it in your hands.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
No.
Oh, that's another thing.
Yeah.
They don't have that anymore.
No, that's
now
it.
they have alcohol swab.
Right, that's what I said.
Okay,
you used to get a little scratch
careful.
on your knee. Your mom would paint it orange.
Yeah, I know. Remember that? You look worse. You look worse than the wound. Because what happened to you? Well, I just put some mercurochrome on me, honey.
Get back out there. That's right.
All right. So, but anyway, all of our staff, they're well versed at it because of the number of slide bites we get on the range.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And the slide bite, going down a rabbit hole on that for a little bit, is usually caused from novice shooters who forgot the grip that they were taught, or a revolver shooter who now has switched over to semi-automatic.
Yeah.
So he still has the revolver grip going, and he might have lucked out a couple times because that slide going back at 100 miles an hour passed over, the webbing of his hand or his knuckle. And he said, oh, okay, I'll use the same grip. But that one time, he would raise that knuckle a little bit, and here's how it usually happens. All of a sudden, you feel something, a sharp, intense pain, and you look at your knuckle, and you go, okay, no, it's okay. And then it gets purple, and you go, wait a second, something's forming. And then it comes, and here comes the blood. And what's really funny is that half of the guys it happens to on the range, they're too embarrassed to ask for help.
Yep.
So Monday morning, I followed the drops of blood going up, unless the guys cleaned it up, which they should have, up to the bathroom. But we just had one the other day, and one of our instructors immediately, breaks out the first aid kit. And so we get pretty good at that. That can be dangerous if you are bleeding profusely, you're on blood thinners. Mm-hmm. We had one individual, an elderly gentleman. Stop me if you heard this story before.
Nope.
Where he's shooting on the range. His son-in-law brings him a .44 Magnum and says, there you go, Pops, go ahead and shoot this. The man's 90 years old on blood thinners.
Oh,
what did he do? He puts his thumb beyond the cylinder gap. Okay? Boom, first shot, he's bleeding. Everyone thought he shot himself. There's so much blood. We administer first aid. We had to sit him down. We get everyone off the range. EMTs take about 12 minutes to get there. The man could have went into shock.
Sure.
Yep.
Do people know how to handle this?
Wow.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to offer this. What about you're on Uncle Elmo's land? All right, Uncle Elmo, just so the record shows, Uncle Elmo's land is up in Wisconsin. Uncle Buster's land is down in Missouri. So whether you have an Elmo or a Buster.
Yeah, in case you get your uncles mixed up, right?
Usually Uncle Elmo and Uncle Buster, they don't want to pay money to learn for lessons and safety and everything. They don't do that. So here they are teaching the grandkids, teaching their nieces, nephews how to shoot on their land. Next thing you know, they forget about trigger awareness, and boom, the round goes off. Jeez. Where's the house? Where's the farmhouse? It's a half mile away. Okay, and here's a kid, or here's a teen. All right. What are we gonna do with Uncle Elmo? He just shot himself in the leg. Do we have med kit out there? Do we have a tourniquet out there? How bad's the wound? You go into shock. I mean, a lot of leg wounds are very survivable unless you hit an artery. And what do you do? All right. So it's not only just range trauma and gunshot wounds, but it's out in the field as well. So we look at what you're going to need, the steps you take, and treating for shock as well, and 911 and all that. So anyway, gunshot trauma and first aid is a must-do class for anybody who's involved. Actually, it's for everybody, but anybody who ever picks up a gun
or will be around one,
you had better have some first aid training, because you might not have someone else who's trained. In our range, we have a number of EMTs. A lot of us have received training, military, police. We had active nurses and everything working for us. So what if you don't have that? You're all by yourself. Yeah. So good idea to have that.
I mean, it's just one of those things you don't think about, I guess. I even personally listening to this, and it's like, yeah, it'd probably be good to do that. I mean, I've definitely gone out in the backcountry woods at my cousin's place and fired off a couple rounds, and you take accidents happen. And if you're not prepared and you're not paying attention to what you're doing, and you're not trigger awareness and all that kind of stuff, it really can affect. You can be in the middle of nowhere and have a big issue. a deadly issue, and it's all about being prepared to know at least what to do to stop it so that you can get to the proper place to treat it. You know what I mean? So definitely cool to hear.
And be careful when you buy a med kit online. That one that says, well, I don't want to spend $100, but there's one for $49.99. It's all I need. I'm going out in the backcountry. Okay. They give you a little sewing kit. They give you a little tiny little scissors that kids use in kindergarten. They give you a couple Band-Aids, 2 aspirin, and a little bit of gauze and some tape. Okay. Well, that's not going to stop the bleed from a gunshot or a knife wound or an axe wound.
I wonder if Amazon could deliver that via drone within like minutes. Yeah, can you imagine that?
Soon.
The best part about those bags is the bag itself. It looks really cool, nice shiny red one with a big white X or white cross on it. So it looks really cool and enticing. Hey, they got everything I need in there. No, they don't. Go ahead, make that trip to a medical supply store and get some heavy duty gauze, get some major chest gauzes, get pads and everything. You want to get a lot of tape.
You hear that?
A lot of Band-Aids. You want to get a tourniquet. Get a good tourniquet.
Just in case there's bleeding.
Okay? Unless you got a good belt.
Well, but that's with anything, right? Boaters don't know the first thing about helping a drowning person. I mean, people just they're dumb that way, I think, in whatever, boaters, bikers, what do you do?
Those rascally bikers.
I mean, it's in every sport that you got. Now, the interesting thing, as I was getting my coach's license for basketball, I also had to learn the little clear thing, the AEDs or whatever they're called.
That are mounted in schools.
Yeah.
Like all across there.
Yeah. So I had to get certified in that.
Nice.
So it is, I do see that, but, sitting here with you guys who are pros, really good with your guns, I'm sitting here like, well, I don't think you guys would shoot yourself in the leg. Right?
It's my number one thing, and I'm going to be taking the holster training class because I haven't done a holster draw live with a live round in it, unsafetied, all that. It actually makes me nervous because I don't have the practice or the training. I've never been able to do that. Most ranges do not let you do holster draws while you're in there because it's just unsafe, and you need proper training before you do that kind of stuff. But just thinking about it at home, it's one of those things that, I can practice all day long at home doing holster draws with dummy rounds in it and everything else. But when there's an actual round in there and you're in a stressful situation, I can't even imagine going through. But which is what you're smiling right there, because that they offer training classes to stress you out so you can do that. And I can't wait to take it because I know for me it will be a really good experience just to understand that being uncomfortable is okay, and I'm going back to what I've been practicing for years without with a dummy round inside of it as well. The funny thing is, a quick story about biking and medical stuff. I've seen tons of accidents. I've lost a lot of friends actually in Chicago on motorcycles. It's really bad down at, and my aunt just said people are dumb. As a community, not everyone, but it is. And the amount of people that just don't know what to do. So we were out in the middle of the night. It's 2:00 in the morning. We're driving on I-90 and, just having fun. And two of us took off on a little bit faster route, 70 miles an hour. They were doing 40. So we were doing 70. So it seemed really like we took off like 160 miles an hour, but we didn't. We were, doing 70 miles an hour, Illinois State Police Department, just to throw it out there. And I get a phone call and I answer it because I have a headset built into my helmet that's, wireless, and I'm, hello, like, what can I help you? And it's my buddy. You got to get back here right now. He went, our buddy went down, blah, blah, blah. You got to get back right now. I'm like, all right, well, calm down. Like, how bad is it? His blood everywhere. It's a mess. He's really messed up. And I'm going, okay, all right. Well, did you call the ambulance? Because I'm not a medic. Right. So he's like, yeah, the other guy's on the phone with the medic. I'm like, all right, sounds good. So I got off the next exit, turned around, came back. I was on 90, so I pulled on the other side of 90 and jumped the barrier. And he's in the middle of the highway. And there's 10, 15 bikers around him, and he's sprawled out on the ground. And he's got this little pool of blood about that big sitting on the ground. And he really did. I mean, he messed up his arm pretty bad, right? So he snapped his wrist, and I think something cut, and it just kind of like plopped some blood out. So everyone's like trying to touch them. There's like 10 people like, oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. And I'm just sitting here. And I always, when I walk up to any situation, I always assess before I just jump in. I need to look at the overall picture of what it is, where we are. Number one, we all need to be safe. We're in the middle of I-90 on a 70-mile-an-hour road at 2 o'clock in the morning. Cars are still driving on the road. So let's block off traffic for a second. Let's get the police here so they can do what they need to do. And, he's uncomfortable, but he's not dying. Okay. And everyone's like, oh man, he's so messed up. That's not what he wants to hear right now, guys. Like, honestly. So I walked up, I looked at him in the eyes. I said, listen, you're going to be fine. We're going to get through this. Medic's on the way. Ambulance is on the way. We're getting police. So how's the bike? Bike doesn't matter, dude. Well, whatever. We'll take care of the bike. We'll get you to the hospital. You need to go to the hospital. Oh, how bad am I? You're not bad. Okay. You're alive. You're breathing. You're talking. You're making jokes with me already. You're fine. Like you got your arms a little, a little touched up here, but we're going to get, through this one way or another. It's just surprising to me how many people just straight panic. Yeah. Immediately. So you got the, the runners and you got the fight or flight mode in that point. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand it. I just relax. It's okay. Like you're not going to change it by panicking anymore. Right. So, random weird tangent there, but it's good. So keep going with what you got, bud.
Well, for all this, the old acronym, the 6 Ps, you ever hear that? Uh-huh. All right. That has to do with all events in your life, actually.
Okay.
And I didn't get it from the Boy Scouts either. They have something a little bit more easygoing, but it's just be prepared. That's the Boy Scout motto. But the 6 Ps is prior planning prevents piss poor performance. So if you do the prior planning, at least it's in your head.
Sure.
That, okay, I've been there before. All right, so this is what I can do. Here's an option. Mm-hmm. If you've never been there before in training, that's when you get the panic.
Sure.
Because you're not sure. You might have seen stuff on TV. You forget about the immediate danger.
So I don't just grab a knife and stick a straw in someone's throat.
Well, yeah. You do like Jim Carrey does in Dumb and Dumber. I know first aid. And he takes his legs and the guy's having a heart attack. Okay, all right. Yeah. That's good.
Sure you do.
So, but anyway, no, it's one of our extra classes we have besides shooting. It's usually very popular. Another time right now when you're, you don't want to go through all your ammo. How about gun cleaning? I got gun cleaning classes coming up.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And students can bring in any 2 guns. Mm-hmm. If they're smart, they're going to bring in 2 guns that give them a hell of a time of taking down. Yep. Because then I'll have Chuck or another gunsmith Mario.
Chuck actually went through that in our last episode. I had him actually show all the
field dressing
it and everything. Yeah. It was really good.
Yeah. So. Field dressing. What, you had a deer out here?
Yeah, we were cutting it open. You said field dressing. I just agreed with you. I literally just agreed with you.
Field something.
Field
dressing. Stripping. Field stripping.
assembly.
How could you forget stripping?
Field stripping.
Field stripping.
Oh, my God. I literally just agreed with you. I was like, yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever you're saying over there.
So I thought for a moment I was right. I was like, hey, I got it wrong. I got it wrong last time. I still got it wrong.
My bad, bro.
Yeah. I don't know.
All my guys are great at all the gun cleaning.
Yeah.
Anyone could take a class, but there's always, we only have a certain amount of time.
Yep.
And if someone brings in a 30-30 lever action Winchester and wants it all breaking down and a buck mark, okay, we got to make a special private lesson here for you. Because I'm going to spend all my time with you. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you just come with, a very simple, give me a Glock.
Yep.
Oh, thank God she has a Glock.
Yep.
All right, this is easy. Boom, boom, boom. Here's how you do it, right? But when it gets real complicated, but it's a good time to bring in, something. Maybe you had some questions.
Yep.
And come on in. A lot of folks, really, they put that gun on the shelf, and that's why they have malfunction, because it's not clean. Mm-hmm. You got too much carbon built up in a chamber. I'm sure Chuck went over all that stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, gun cleaning.
He said
Chuck
my feed was real clean.
Yeah, you did. You did have a nice clean feed.
Yeah, I clean my gun after every range use. I mean, I literally do. I usually put, when I go to the range, I usually put about 250 rounds down my 9mm Smith & Wesson. And it just, I don't like the sliders. I see it at the range every single time I go. Every single time. Somebody's got a jam. And it's usually because the gun is just filthy. They just don't understand that you got to clean it, So
yeah. No.
Or you over oil it. He went through a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
It was super educational.
You don't want to use too much lube, he said.
I do like, too slippery.
Too slippery.
Yeah, you don't know where it is.
It gets sprayed up in your face.
Yeah, we had
Another
whole bunch of
first aid thing.
Expedient material for first aid too.
Well, what I like about what you're doing there at On Target is like anything else, it's muscle memory. And owning a gun or firearm is more than just saying you own it.
Mm-hmm.
And you are finding ways for people to continue to build muscle memory, when they don't want to be wasting all their ammo. I think that's brilliant.
It makes them more comfortable with their gun.
Yeah.
They know what to do in case something goes down.
Yep.
And once everything has a trick, especially all these guns, there's very, very few guns. There are universal laws of taking guns apart, but a lot of times on YouTube, they don't show you that secret trick.
Right.
Oh, you never told me about that pin. How about that trap door? I got to move down to move that pin out. Okay. What about that? Okay. Well, this class goes into it. It's something you don't have to know how to take down all guns, but you should know how to take down your gun. So,
yep.
Enough
I just like where I know where everything is. Like, where my thumb is. I can literally feel it. I can feel it in my head. I know how my trigger feels. You need to know your gun better than anything else. It's literally attached to you, or it should be if you are concealed carry, but you need to know every part of it. Every part of it. I know every part of it other than trigger. I don't take apart anything to do with the trigger assembly at all. I'll pay Chuck to do it gladly because I get nervous with that. Like, that's like a motorcycle. Everyone's like, I went to school to be a mechanic, and literally cars I'm really comfortable with, except my car, because I won't touch a single thing on it. I'm going to get electrocuted ridiculously. But cars I'm comfortable with. Motorcycles, absolutely not. I won't even change my own oil on my motorcycle. Really? I don't know enough about it. I don't understand how transmission works. I get the motor. That's the easy part of it. But even the tires and how they're attached and all that stuff, it's life or death for me. I mean, if I do something wrong or don't tighten a bolt on my tire falls off at 70 miles an hour, I've just raised my chances of dying. I'm going to keep those chances low.
Yeah.
Have an expert do it. So there's certain things that I do, like field stripping it and stuff like that after cleaning it. But there's certain things that I just say, I stop and I go, Chuck, you're gonna take care of that, buddy.
And that's called wisdom.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look! Oh, he called me wise. Oh, yeah.
Wise
if
ass.
I hit that age where I'm now wise.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's it.
You don't even have gray hair yet.
What you can change and what you cannot.
I have ear hair now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, then you're getting there.
Yeah, exactly. Does that mean I'm getting smarter?
Yeah.
I did post on Facebook the other day, what's the appropriate age when taking a nap whenever you feel like it is appropriate? And someone had commented and said that if you're asking the question and you're of the age where you can just pass out anywhere and it's okay. I love it. That's great. I pass out all the
Donna
time.
asked, when have you ever gone 70?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donna, I don't know. You've never ridden with me before. She came to Chicago. She brought actually her sons out, my cousins, and we all took this huge motorcycle trip out here, and we rode with probably 1,500 other riders. And Aunt Donna saw a different nephew than she knew back in New York. So we had a little bit of fun. I'm not going to lie.
Sure.
So there might be videos out there. So I want to get into this cool. So you guys can't see on camera. Oh, you can. We got a duct tape thing here. And it's going to be kind of one of those things on what we're going to do, a little demonstration today that Tom has hidden here. So,
all right, let me give you a little lead in on that. All right, because two guys sitting in one spot for an hour can get kind of boring. So we're going to shake things up a little bit. And this technique is something that I teach in our Intrepid Traveler class. All right. You want to look for another type of class altogether that you won't find anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's made up of a lot of skills learned when I worked overseas, and we had to go through hostage survival in the State Department and how to get away, escape and evasion, and the government and the military, that kind of thing. So we put together a class called the Intrepid Traveler. Now, it's aimed at people who travel maybe to third world environments, developing countries, that kind of thing, where they might be off the grid, not at their comfort zone, but it's applied to everyday life as well. We talk about anti-kidnapping techniques, how to avoid being a mark. We talk about the planning that terrorists take when they're going to planning on kidnapping somebody. And we look at observation skills. We get into firearm familiarization of different firearms you might encounter overseas.
Sure.
We get into even vehicle driving. And,
so can you hotwire a car?
And hotwire a car? Well, you know what? What works is a good crowbar, wear rubber gloves.
We don't condone this at all. This is a close course offset.
The way I used to do it was the old crowbar way.
Oh my!
The old tire iron way with the solenoid and the battery.
Oh, okay.
That's a little easier. You got to get in, pop the hood. But anyway, we get into self-defense techniques. Uh-huh. What happens if they grab you from behind, a knife to the throat, and that sort of thing? I mentioned about driving skills. Sure. Okay, do I go forward when there's a road blockaded, or do I stop and reverse out? How about a lot of times when Americans go overseas, they're part of a company, they're assigned a driver because the American isn't going to drive. So here they are, the driver's driving along. Next thing you know, two guys jump out in the road, ski mask, all right, you're coming with us. The driver panics. He freezes, doesn't know where to go. So what are you going to do? There's a way, there's a technique on how to take control of the car and drive out from the passenger side.
Nice.
All right. So, but that's easy to say. Oh, yeah, I could do that. But you got to practice it because the devil's in the details.
Sure.
How you do it. That's a matter of life and death.
So I visually picture myself reaching my left foot over the column and sitting on the shifter while I'm trying to evade right now. I don't know why that came up, but it literally just popped in my head, the big center console. And how do you,
unless you try, you see, that's something that you have to understand.
Oh, I get it.
By trying it.
Yep.
But if you try it and you go, oh, wait a second, this isn't going to work. All right, well, what is going to work?
Yep.
So do that in practice. That's what we go through. So once again, it's confidence building. I tried it this way, didn't work. I tried it again. Now I get it. For me to do it, I have to do it this way.
My car just drives itself, so I don't.
That's right.
Whatever, just tell it to go. I'm pretty sure it won't
Tesla,
run over people, though.
Yeah, the Tesla didn't hit the overseas market.
Exactly.
You still, you got Juan or Mohammed who has you assigned as your driver.
That's right.
Okay, are they going to freak out or what?
And you're on a motorcycle with 16 other people.
Oh my God, I love watching those videos. I cannot fit. Talk about ultimate balance. That's some serious balance. I don't know how they do it. It's insane.
And another thing we teach is, hostage survival and that sort of thing. And what if this happens? You want to go ahead and do it?
Yeah, okay, cool. We're gonna do a little bit of a fun demonstration. So now is the time to pay attention if you're not paying attention.
All right. Hopefully the camera got us. Yep.
Just make sure our mics are good there, Kent, for talking. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you guys good.
When it comes time to be tied up or duct tape, a lot of bad guy organizations will use duct tape. Don't go like this. I mean, if you know they're going to do it, you go ahead and offer them your wrists like this because.
Oh my God, he's got a lot of hair.
All right, let's see how many. Let's see how now he's going to make it real tight. Yeah. Okay. Oh man.
So for everybody,
right, one more.
Everybody on the radio.
All right, right there.
Derek is duct taping Tom's wrists now.
Before.
And I did test this before. This is not
tight.
Fake duct tape. This is seriously duct tape brand.
Yep.
By the way,
the real stuff. Now he's got his wrists duct taped.
All right,
pretty tight.
Over here.
He can't move it.
I can't move. Can I write? Can I blow my nose? Okay, so the first chance
I got a question real quick though. Can you wipe your ass with that right now?
No, I got a guy who follows me around.
Yes.
I pay extra for that.
That's right.
Overseas.
Yes.
Right. So, all right. So what do you do? Okay. You're going along and let's say you make a break for it.
Yeah.
You make a break for it. They say, oh, don't worry. You can't get out of we'll catch him or her, but he got his hands duct tape and everything. All you have to do, all right, lift your hands up above your head and bring it down. I want to make sure that I'm okay here.
Yep.
Bring it down swiftly and just like
Whoa.
Oh my gosh. For those of you that are not watching right now,
Whoa.
snap the duct tape right off. There's
3 or 4.
I went 4 or
Yeah.
5 rolls on that. I'm not gonna lie, and no joke, I did go tight on it. And doing this live can be a little, little funky sometimes, but
that's pretty impressive.
It's impressive.
Now you'll notice that my wrists are void of any kind of hair.
He's missing all the hair.
That hurt. Yeah.
From doing this in the classroom, and it refuses to grow there anymore.
Yeah.
So next is the skin.
So I got to ask right away though: has that ever failed in the classroom?
No.
In front of anybody?
No. So what he did for those listening, have Kent do that.
Yeah. Oh my God! Well, please, I would love it.
So hey, I'll try it. I'll try anything.
Oh my God, you can't.
I'll try anything. Let's do it.
Okay. Oh my God.
Okay,
go ahead. Come on over, dude. There's nothing.
Let me take my jewelry off.
Yeah, I know. Get those bling off of there, you.
A scene from The Intrepid Traveler, if you will.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is impressive. I cannot believe Kent's about to do this.
No, I'll do it. I'll do it.
This is so good.
You do it.
I'm going to tape him up?
You're going to tape him up. All right, let me get out of the way here.
Okay. So right now I'm going to be taping up Kent's arms. This is insane. I can't even believe. I'm so sorry for what about that's going to happen.
I don't have a lot of hair. So
they're going to do that. You got to go home.
So this is the third time around.
Yep, we're going to do one more. I'm going to do 4 for you.
4.
And that's it. So, this is not cheap tape.
That's good tape. All right.
All right,
let's move
Okay, let me sign a waiver.
Yeah. Well, I taped them up. You didn't do anything.
That's why I didn't tape them.
So here it is. So
be careful.
Wait. Have you done this before?
Never.
Okay, so you probably should get some direction before whatever you're about to do. Did you watch what he did?
I saw what he did.
Okay, all right. I mean,
you saw it. All right.
I saw what he did.
You want me to tell you the trick?
No, I got it.
You just gonna straight up try to do it? What if you break your wrist right now?
If I break your wrist.
Oh my God, this is
we know
insane.
first aid.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Drum roll.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
This is what makes the show great. This is
all right. We're gonna do it live. Let's go and. Oh! That was amazing.
Oh, how about that?
Scale 1 to 10. How much did that hurt?
No, not bad.
Okay, cool. All right, sweet. Yeah.
Well,
You should leave that as a gift right there. Just for those of you watching, Kent was successful. He snapped that off his wrist. Yeah, that's going up and be talked about for.
I'm so glad
for a little
you
bit.
did that.
I can't.
So that's incredible. I would never. I mean, people. I would never have known to do that.
You'd be able to do it, but you can do it, and it has to do with how taut that tape is. The tauter, the better.
Look at that. Okay. Pete says, "Now I'm a believer." Well done, Pete. I'd have you do it, but I really just saw your wrist today, and I really highly recommend you not doing that, buddy.
It's so hairy.
Yeah, I came in. I was like, "Your wrist okay?" I was like, "Yeah, you know."
Oh yeah, because it broke it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my gosh, impressive, dude! I'm thoroughly impressed.
Listen, that was tight too. I mean, that was on there.
I didn't give him. I actually kind of twisted it a little bit, and I wondered if that was gonna hang him up. I didn't twist it on his by accident, but I was nervous because I was like really nervous for you.
And really, the only sting is where the hair has been pulled off now.
That's it.
There's no. I mean, it didn't hurt at all. It didn't cut me. It just took some of the hair off.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
See?
Yeah.
No.
All right, so we can do it with rope next, right?
Yeah.
Now we got the Houdini trunk deal.
So,
next
we do barbed wire next. What else can we
next week? Tune in while they
zip ties. It can be done with zip ties as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it can.
Oh, man.
So there's different type. Like I've seen the zip ties ones, and I've worked with zip ties. Being a mechanic, you zip tie all your electrical connections and all that stuff inside of a car. But there is difference between a zip tie that you buy at like Menards or Home Depot or Lowe's, and there's a serious difference from the police zip ties that they handcuff you in. I haven't been in those.
Yeah, the real skinny ones they're pretty easy, but I mean, if you have the long, thick one, it's a harder do. It's harder to do it, but it's always possible.
Sure, of course. Yeah. When there's a will, there's a way.
That is crazy.
I cannot.
Crazy.
I am in shock.
Me too. I'm kind of going through my head like that's kind of crazy.
That was not the smartest thing I've done today.
I mean, I've had problem tearing duct tape while I've been working with it.
Yeah, you're gonna. You're gonna walk in the door tonight, and you're gonna be like, "Honey, guess what I did today?"
Pull out the duct tape. Kids, go to bed. There we go.
Let me show you what I learned.
Look at how giddy he is now.
It's awesome.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I learned so much from this show. It's fantastic.
every day. I absolutely love it.
I mean, the impossible is often the untried. And it's
I love it.
It's un-American to say, "Oh, that's impossible. I can't do it." Yes, you can. I mean, the last 4 letters in American is "I can," right? So
you did not think of that before, did you?
The impossible is often the untried.
It's amazing.
And we offer that to show people, granted, all right, the guy might have chains. All right, hot shot. On target, boy. Go ahead and now it changed.
Right.
Okay, come on. That's where wisdom comes in. That's where wisdom says, "No, I'm not going to do it." Wisdom says, "I'm not going to end up in a situation where I have to be."
Well, right. And just training. So I've been in the banking industry for 20 plus years, and I've actually been held up a hostile takeover, right? And
at gunpoint.
At gunpoint.
Yep.
And the FBI and the police were like, "How many of these have you been through?" I'm like, "I've never been through one." They're like, "You handled everything perfectly, because you had to keep people apart." So I don't know what I was doing. I think I was still in shock, and it was just kind of that motor and muscle memory of all the training that I'd been through for the years. Just, all right, hey, nobody talk to anybody. You go there, stay away from everything. Don't touch anything.
Mm-hmm.
Start filling these cards out. I mean, it was,
Did you have FBI in your?
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
So I mean, it was what you're saying, and not just going blowing your ammo off. Is there's more to what you have to do when you're a gun owner.
I just feel like nowadays there's so many people that are oblivious to so many situations, and just kind of put yourself in those situations. And there's deep thinkers, and then there's I call them the over-prepared people, the guys that have bunkers in their backyard with a year's worth of food, and they're waiting for all hell to break loose. I wouldn't put myself on that extreme category. I would love to, just because the preparedness of it would be great. But you're getting into that like a little crazy territory, right? But the crazy territory doesn't become crazy when it does happen and something happens and you need that and you don't have it. Difference between hoarding and prepared, you know what I mean? I think there's a pretty big line on that case of it. But I carry a backpack with me every single day of the week. And in my backpack is everything I need to do to survive at least 3 days. There's snacks in there. There's always a fresh drink in there. There's always an extra drink in there just in case. Yeah. Battery backups, cell phones, extra just 2 of everything for longevity scent, because I'm from upstate New York. And for those of you that know upstate New York, south of Rochester, in between Buffalo and Syracuse, is a snow belt. You have Lake Ontario, which is a massive lake. It's almost an ocean. It's huge. You can't even see the other side of it. And Lake Erie. And they kind of hug the corner of where I grew up. You get 2 winters. You get the winter that is nice and cold, and not cold, but beautiful and mild, or you get the massive snowstorm where you can't find your car. Well, I was driving to Buffalo, New York from Rochester one day, and I've always been like this because you never know what you're going to run into. Well, I ran into a Buffalo snowstorm, and I'm talking it snowed 18 to 24 inches in 6 hours overnight. And I got stuck because a semi-truck had flipped over. Well, in upstate New York, there's 60 miles in between exits. Ooh. Okay, so I was at mile 30. So I can't turn around because there's a giant median in the middle that dips down, 40 feet and has to go right back up on there as well, and then drop over to go to the other side. I'm literally stuck. There's nowhere to go. All the cars are piling up because everyone's stopping, and you can't turn around on a 2-lane highway. There's fields on both sides. Well, I ate fine. I had a whole set of second clothes in there. I didn't have to run my car all night or anything like that. So I don't know. Just in general, take a second and prepare yourself for whatever your day's got in front of you, and make sure you know. In my Tesla, everyone laughs about it, but I do have to prepare myself more with my Tesla. I only have so much charge in a day. There's only so many superchargers around where I can do things, and you got to kind of plan out your day and make it worthwhile. It's kind of nice, So
I promise I didn't ask Derek for a lead-in to my next non-shooting class. He just did it. Wilderness survival.
Yes.
Wilderness survival.
That was a good plug. And we didn't talk about it.
And I mean, how do you survive? In urban survival, wilderness survival.
But that's like Boy Scout stuff though, right?
It's Boy Scout stuff that you learned in Boy Scouts, but if you don't practice it, you forget it.
Sure,
Yep.
that's true.
You forget it. And now that we have become a more sophisticated culture and we have so much access to
Welcome, Singapore.
Google, we understand, okay, we could find out all the little minute details of body temperature. How long can you go without water? Well, that depends on your environment. Depends on your height, your weight, so many different factors. So we offer wilderness survival. I took a break from government.
So does On Target offer the wilderness survival?
I teach it.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
I teach it.
Yeah.
Well, the background on that is after my first stint with the government, and they sent me all these garden spots around the world. And I said, I want to see my own country. And I was still single. So I said, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to be a wilderness guide. And I always practiced the survival, and I always loved that aspect of the outdoors. And so I started a wilderness survival school. We had a lot of continuing education classes or groups from Harper College, College DuPage, that kind of thing. And they would come up on weekends. We'd offer something different. One weekend was general survival, shelter, water, fire, food. Perfect. The next weekend, land navigation. That's back before GPS. So, and then after 9/11, I went back in the government, so I shut down my survival school.
Sure.
But I was having a time of my life. I wasn't playing Indian. I was being Indian. I mean, I was just out hunting. We had beginner hunting classes, bow hunting, rifle hunting, for those who didn't have land and they just didn't have access, but they want to learn, how to process game, how to take game, how to track game, that kind of thing. So we offered a myriad of classes with that. But what I'm doing right now, it's workshop form. It's just 3 hours. I'm going to cover shelter, water, fire, food.
Perfect.
And you better bring a pen and a paper and keep on writing, because I'm going to give you a lot of tips. Yep. And then we culminate the class, the workshop, by going outside. And I usually pick on the youngest member to start a fire. We all assembled a fire the way I taught. And then the youngest member starts a fire without a match.
Nice.
Okay. So say, oh, wow, this is how the mountain men did.
So is there an app for that? Can I download an app to start a fire without a match?
Oh, yeah. They got it out. There's so many ways.
Well, and, the interesting thing, we're supporting a young man, Kevin Santapadre, who's walking the Pacific Crest Trail.
Yeah.
Holy
and cow. He's out there by himself. I mean, there's tons of people on the Pacific Crest Trail, but it's going to take him 5.5 months. And when you're in the wilderness, if you're camping, it's wonderful. When you're in the wilderness, you'll go crazy. Your mind is a powerful thing. And if you don't understand how to survive, if you don't understand that, I'm going to be walking through the woods for the next 17 hours or whatever the case may be, that mental piece just of surviving.
Well, that's because modern man has been groomed to take on an adversarial relationship, man against wilderness, man against wild, okay? And you see some shows like that. And to me, having lived out in the woods and mountains for a number of years, I take a different approach. That is my solitude. That is my solitude.
Yeah, that's mine too. Yeah.
I mean, here in the urban area is when I get
anxious.
I'm that way too. I'm that way too, brother.
Driving in traffic. My wife doesn't get it. No, we're not going down to the city. All right.
There's 5 cars. I'm not going down.
That's too much. Too much. We're gonna go to early mass. Okay, we're gonna go
and get out.
That's okay. So, but if you once you learn the skills, you have that comfort. If you have the comfort, you have the confidence, and your fear dissipates. You realize the average of a bear encounter, of a wolf encounter, mountain lion encounter. Okay. And then you acquire these skills, and next thing you know, you embrace nature rather than fear.
Start respecting it. Yeah.
So it's about that embracing that makes all the difference in the world. Yeah. Once you have the tools, just like you call a handyman to your house and he fixes a faucet in no time, and you've been working at it for a month. You know why? Because he has the tools and he knows the trick.
Talking about you, kid?
Yeah.
And you go, son of a. Why didn't I think of that?
Faucet's not a problem.
Why didn't I have that
the main.
tool? But that costs $100. I should have had this tool. That costs $500. Okay.
My wife keeps calling the pool boy, but we don't have a pool. I don't know.
It's on speed
Oh,
dial.
yeah,
How
beware
about
Yeah,
of
right.
the pool boy.
Well, now you know how to tie it
Hey,
up.
Dad, the pool boy was here.
Well,
again.
put him in that duct tape and see if pool boy can get out of the duct tape.
Yeah, we'll see how his training
Duct
goes.
tape his feet too in
That's right.
12 feet of water.
Oh
That's
my
right.
God. My serenity is on a lake, listening to gentle waves crash with birds chirping and nature and literally nothing. When I go on vacation, like I make it the biggest point possible to just not have anything technology based. And I'm the biggest tech guy in the world, but the word unplugged is very literal for me.
Yep.
When I need to unplug, I will not respond to anything.
Yep.
I don't want to. And I always get a deeper feeling. And it just happened in Arizona when we were there and we were in the middle of the desert in Sedona. Literally no cell phone service, nothing. There's physically no way to be connected with anybody else. There's such a feeling that you get sitting out there and you just stop. You spend, it could be hours. You're just standing there looking at nature and what this world has to offer and how freaking big it is, So
here's, and I'm going to roll back to what Donna said. People are dumb. But we're gun owners are pretty naive, right? Hey, I've never been where somebody's accidentally shot themselves, so I don't want to show up to your training. I'm never going to be stuck out in the wilderness, or I'll never be kidnapped. Yeah, that's what the last person who was kidnapped said too, right? I mean,
yep.
So what I love about what On Target's doing is, listen, shit happens.
Yep.
And you got to be prepared for it. If you're not prepared for it, then good luck.
I usually handle the specialty classes, the unconventional, just because I'm unconventional. But
so conventional.
For the people, I'm going to end up talking about some very practical classes for gun people. And that is Scope School. We're going to have Scope School 101.
Bam.
Followed up by Scope School 102. And it's taught by Don Larson. He's one of our instructors who's a former Marine, retired Marine Scout sniper.
Mm.
So you're learning from the
he
best
knows
of
his
the best.
guns, yeah.
Okay. And scopes, all right, I had a scope rifle before, but I don't claim to know anything really about scope. He will inform you, he'll enlighten you, entertain you, and make it a very practical experience. That's something. Scope School 101 is about what's out there, finding the right scope for your rifle, that sort of thing. What does minute of angle mean? This sort of thing. How to adjust.
I've never heard that.
No rounds are shot in that first one.
Yeah.
And then you come to Scope School 102, and that's where you zero your rifle with your scope under his tutelage, and he'll show you exactly how to maneuver and move the adjusting knobs, and that way you leave dead on, okay, with your scope, your rifle.
I got to tell you, that is, and I'm currently in that spot. So obviously I'm trying to hit 1,000-yard shot this summer. That's literally what my goal is, bucket list item. And scope, we were talking earlier about YouTube and going on, and I spent days researching scope, what I should be purchasing, what size I should be purchasing, what type of scope I should be getting, minute of angle. So I love math and I love numbers, and I know Kent's the same way with that too. Like literally, that's my heaven. I can sit in numbers all day long. If you give me a word to spell, I'll probably want to slip my wrist at that point. But if you give me a whole book of numbers and say, "Hey, can you figure out what formula this is?" I'm in heaven right there. So there's a lot of math that goes into scoping. There's a lot of math that goes into shooting at a distance, and minute of angle was the hardest thing to understand. Zeroing my rifle, I spent probably 2 hours working at the range, literally trying to get that damn scope to shoot the same way twice. It was driving me nuts. So I went to the range, I went on target, and I shot there, and I got a couple of funny pictures from one of the guys that was there. The Western guy, I forgot his name.
Joe.
Yeah. He's so cool. He pulls a Western out. A double action. He's flipping around. He throws his thing, pulls it back out, throws it back in. Such a amazing. He's the guy in like you picture in a Western shootout that's just gonna win. You just know he's gonna win. And so the funny thing is everyone's got different ways of doing things and everyone's got different opinions. So you got this massive amount of information that you're trying to process. And then there's a difference from listening and then doing, right?
Yeah.
So you can watch videos all till you're blue in the face until you start clicking that and turning knobs. And then you mess it up and you lose the whole thing and you lost the whole mathematical. I felt like I had to have a sheet of paper a mile long on the side of me just to figure out what the hell I was doing and what I wasn't supposed to do. So luckily I zeroed it out to my knowledge, and I'll be taking a scope class myself personally because I have to, because it's not going to happen. I don't want this to be a luck shot. I don't want to go back and go, I made a 1,000-yard shot. Yeah, it was really good. You know, sitting around at 80 years old and sitting on a front porch with whoever saying, oh yeah, I did a 1,000-yard shot back when I was 30, blah blah blah. I don't want that. I want to be confident that that thing was done right. That's it. So it's not a simple task. Scopes are very difficult. And each dial is different. Each scope has its own minute of angle that's on there as well. And there's different clicks to it. It's a lot.
A lot of variables in the use of a scope, whether it be red dot, whatever reticle you're using. I mean, the magnification, objective lens. I mean, there's so many informational tidbits that whether you're using an AGOG, whatever scope you're using, or if you're using a classic hunting scope, loophole, okay, there's just so much information.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked Don, I said, listen, put something together where you're going to be able to make people understand it, their own scope, and then they're going to get that satisfaction when they leave of knowing that they have zeroed it, they know how to do it if they lose or zero again. And that's the whole point of it. It's good investment. I lost
by zero like 10 times.
Good investment.
It was great. It was frustrating. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, well, I would think that too. You put it in the case or whatever. It's not a hard case and it bumps around or something.
It doesn't move once you.
Oh, is that right? Huh?
I'm an iron sight guy. I've always used iron sights because in the Marines, when you shoot for the first time in boot camp, you're shooting iron sights at 500-yard targets, and you're hitting it.
How?
And you're hitting a size of
How do you see 500 yards out?
You're younger then. You're 18.
Right. You're not wise.
You're hitting a pie plate, and then you're going, holy cow, I did that.
Oh, man.
500 yards.
They wonder why we don't have the greatest military in America.
So anyway,
in the world.
but you develop that comfort and confidence.
Yeah.
And I don't want the hassle of a scope. Because when I used to deer hunt, it was either with black powder, to give the deer a chance, a bow.
Sure.
Or if I really need meat and I don't want to screw it up, I use an M1 Garand iron sight.
Yeah.
And just no problem. 100 yards through the woods.
Sure.
That's a long shot for me. Because I usually wait until they're nice and close. I want to make a good, clean shot, not a wild shot. But the M1 Garand has come in handy, taking deer out to 100 yards through the woods, the thick woods.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to mention one more thing before we go.
You got it, brother.
Women's self-defense.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies out there. Oh, yeah. I have 2 crackerjack female instructors been at this for a while. And it's a great workshop. Finally, we're done. No mask. You can get hands-on by grabbing how to escape a wrist hold, a lapel choke. Someone comes up behind. All these things that you see bad guys do and you hear about it. And some of you had it done to you. Okay? Yeah. So, great opportunity. Don't miss that class, ladies. And get your teenage daughters involved in that too. Sure. Especially if you're going away to college.
Oh,
look at that.
Sure.
So, Gary says, we shoot only with iron sights during our entire 2-year military conscription period, up to 800 meters. He's in Singapore.
Yeah.
So Singapore has a ban on guns, but the military obviously uses them. So he actually, Gary, you know how to use a firearm really well because obviously you have 2 years of training and 800 yards, 800 meters. I don't know if he's just trying to one up us right now. That's the other thing. I'm just kidding, Gary. But I'm trying to hit 1,000 yards with a 50 millimeter scope. Yeah. So I'm kind of cheating a little, but at the same time, I know myself too well. It's not going to happen.
I'm trying to read the clock across the room here. Having trouble with
when we go from iron sights to a scatter gun. The older we get,
is it 1 or is it 5? It shouldn't be a question on that. Our main weapon was licensed, produced M16s. Okay, cool, very good. That's awesome.
Yep,
You're hitting 800 meters with M16. That's impressive.
That is impressive.
That's impressive.
That's impressive for an M14 when we first started out.
I'm going to do a quick shout out here too, because I don't know. I'm sure my grandparents will see this as well. My grandma and grandpa, when I went to New York, I had a little bit of an accident, and I just want to tell them I love them. Grandma's doing great. She's out of the hospital. Grandpa is recovering right now, and I can't thank my grandparents enough for a whole lifetime of just amazing everything. They're probably the best two people I could ever pair. They've been married for almost 60 years.
Wow.
It's so funny to watch them bicker, because at the end of the day, and my grandfather, I mean, he almost made me cry at dinner when I was there. He's sitting next to it, and we're talking about 60 years and coming up and stuff like that. And it's a very big feat to hit 60. It's a big feat to be married for even 20 years at this point. You know what I mean? There's so much divorce going on and stuff. And to be with somebody for 60 years through thick and thin and all the life stuff that happens, for my grandfather to sit at dinner with us and say, you know, Bon Bon, that's my grandma's name. It's not her physical name. It's what we call her. He goes, if I had to do it all over again, I'd pick you 1,000,000 times over. I wouldn't change a damn thing we did. I wouldn't change the damn way we did anything. And I wouldn't change the damn way how we ended up right now. I love you. And I'm like, dude, I am going to die right now. Like, literally excitement with that. I can't say it enough. And keep your loved ones close. Talk to them and all that kind of stuff. It matters.
29 years on Sunday for me.
Oh, 29 years. That's great, dude. You guys got a great relationship, though. You guys are awesome. Me and my wife, we've been together for 13. I wouldn't have it any other way, dude. I love my wife. Shout out to my wife. She got a brand new car yesterday. Super excited. We just drove so many. I'm exhausted from it, actually. And
What'd she get?
She got a Audi Q3 Blackout Edition with a tech package in it.
Nice.
Some more buttons than my Tesla.
Big deal, right? Coming up tomorrow night.
Yes,
on
huge
the
deal.
Dream Home Experts, right? You want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, so Dream Home Experts is tomorrow night. It's you can follow us on Facebook, or you can watch us next week on 216. It will be playing again then.
But you want to tune in live.
You do want to tune in live. We have a really big announcement to make. We are sponsored now by April Air, which is an indoor air quality company. They specialize in humidifiers, dehumidifiers, and air cleaners, purifiers, and I'll let them really dive into the expert part of it. We use it personally with Gold Shield Services. Great product. We're going to be giving away a dehumidifier tomorrow. Actually, I shouldn't say we are. April Air is giving away a dehumidifier. This is a $1,200 piece of equipment to help cool your house off during these 90-degree days. Gold Shield will be installing it for free. Ooh. So we're donating our labor to install it the right way and to educate you on how to use it, when to use it, why to use it. Tune in. We're going to be revealing how you're going to sign up for it. It is going to be local area for the giveaway as we want to install it, and we want to get your feedback. Not Singapore. So I really do appreciate it.
And you got to tune in to the Dream Home Experts Facebook and YouTube channel, not 216. So jump over there. Airs at 8 Central.
Yep. And I'll share it on the Bear Facts on Guns on website just to shoot it over, because it is a very big event, and we're really excited for it. So I can't thank you guys enough.
Great show.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right. So for all of us here, 216 the net, very humbled, blessed that you guys got caught in the net with us. Remember, we know, we get it. Ammo is at a low right now and premium. So head over to On Target with Tom and do some training that you don't have to shoot your ammo on. Be ready.
I like shooting my wad.
There it is.
Sorry, my bad.
That's it. Whatever. Magazine, clip, whatever.
Just kidding. Thanks, guys.